All right, so I've been working on an invention that I'm going to market soon to the toy companies, but it's basically to help us learn our letters and our numbers. So I want to practice some numbers with you. And so if anybody can guess this one, it's a 3. Okay, let's do a really hard one this time. A 1, and then how about that one? 4. This number reminds me of a story that I know. And it's about 4 friends who have a good time walking around on their good legs. And something that they like to do, maybe dance or play soccer, but they have good legs. They have this one friend though, who has some kind of wonky legs. And so he's kind of what we call paralyzed. And so he can't walk and he can't play like the other friends can. So he lives his whole life basically on a bed. And he sleeps there, but it's a bed that doesn't look like this. It kind of looks like a cot type thing that you would use if you were camping, something like this, okay? So one day, his friends are sitting around talking, and these are the 4 friends that we talked about earlier, but they're sitting there and they're talking, and one of them says, I read in the newspaper the other day that this man's coming to town. And it's a man who has healed people and raised people back from the dead. And I want to take our one friend with the wonky legs to see him. His name is Jesus. Okay? So the 4 friends walk on over to their friend's house who had the wonky legs. And they knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. And the one friend with the wonky legs comes running to the door and answers. Wait, that's not right. Because he can't do that. So he doesn't, but they go in and get him and they say, hey, we know of this man who's come to town and his name is Jesus. And he can heal people, and I bet if we took you to see him that he could help you. So the man with the wonky legs, he decides, I'm not good enough for Jesus to see me. I don't want to go and see him because he's got important people that he needs to talk to. So he refuses. But the 4 friends with the normal, regular legs, they decide, we're not having this. We're taking you anyway, even though you don't want to go. So they pick him up on his bed cot thing, and they take him to see Jesus. Well, what happens next is they arrive at a house. And Jesus is inside of the house, okay? And he's teaching, and so they say, well, we've just got to go through this door here. And then our friend with the wonky legs, he'll be healed. But there's hundreds of people there, and they can't get through the door. So one of the friends has an idea. Why don't we sneak around the side of the house, and we'll go in through a window. So they sneak around with their friend, and they go over to the window. But just like the door, there were hundreds of people around the window. So what are they going to do? They've tried the door, they've tried the window, and they need their friend to see Jesus. So there's these stairs that they find. And they decide that they're going to carry their friend up the stairs to the roof. Well, the roof kind of didn't look like this back then. It looked more like this. But, yeah, we'll do it like this for today. So it was made out of stuff like mud and twigs and kind of clay type material. So what did the friends do? But they started digging on a hole in the roof. And once they were just digging and digging and digging until finally they could see Jesus. So their next step in their plan was to take his bed cot thingy and attach some strings to it and lower their friend down to Jesus. So, once the friend with the wonky legs gets inside to see Jesus, something awesome happens. Jesus tells him, I want you to know I forgive you of your sins, okay? But the people around didn't really like that because only God had the power to forgive sins. And who did this guy think he was telling somebody they were forgiven? That was God's job. But Jesus told the man with the wonky legs he was forgiven. He also told him that it would be harder for him to say, go ahead and pick up your cot and walk on out of here. I've forgiven you. It's time for you to go. So, Jesus does just that. And he tells the man with the wonky legs to get up, pick up his cot, bed thing, and leave. So the man with the wonky legs does just that. He sits up, gets up, bends over, picks up his cot, and he leaves.